This is my Google Classroom page for my Campaign Manager project. For this project, I plan on actually implementing it for my AP Government class after the AP test, but this project could also be useful for anyone who teaches government or any other government class, especially after soon to an election. For this project, I intended for a presidential campaign, but through the website where they take the quiz, you could also do it for a congressman or even for local government as well. Just something to get them thinking about campaigns and try to help them really understand everything that goes into a campaign. So first thing we see on Google Classroom will be the presidential website overview and website rubric. So this is the first page. This is what all the students will look at as soon as they get their projects or as soon as they are assigned the project. So it starts with just some basic background, telling them what they're going to do. They're going to take a political aptitude test to match them to a candidate, and they're going to do that individually. And here's a link, which the link is also displayed on Google Classroom. Second, they're going to conduct research about the candidate they're matched with. They're going to do that with a partner. So on day 2 of the lesson, the students will be placed with a partner based on their score on the quiz, based on the candidate they got from the quiz. And number 3, they're going to create a website, a Weebly website, to display all their research. And again, that is done with a partner. Then I want to let them know that they're great on their research, their website, and their teamwork. Basically, I want to make sure that one student doesn't do all the work while another basically does nothing. So when you scroll down a little bit, it's broken down of what each one will be. The research, of course, for history class research kind of needs to be the most important. It's going to be 65 points. Their website will be worth 40 points. Their teamwork worth 15 points, and that is a total of 120 points, which is a pretty big score. So below that, I have some helpful website links and some research links. Again, these are all on the Google Classroom page. So once back on Google Classroom, we see the website rubric. And this is the main rubric. This will be the rubric to grade their website on. The research will be graded on a separate page. So on this, the website rubric is based on their layout, their graphics and pictures, see what's on their website, their spelling, of course, because this is supposed to be a professional project. We want to make sure that if they want to send this in, they actually would have the ability to. It'll be on their navigation, or how well a user can kind of use their website and make sure that everything works. And again, a total out of 40 points. So as I grade this, I'll print this page out and circle or highlight, if I want to do it online, highlight what they got, their score, and then you can put any comments. So they lost points. Why did they lose points? Put that in the score column. Next on Google Classroom is the Google Docs that the students would actually modify. And we start out with the calendar. This I found was a very, very important part of the project. I know from experience that if students don't have a calendar, they don't really know what they're supposed to be doing at all times. And that when that happens, they don't usually finish on time. So first things first, I'd share this document with your partner. Because it's Google Classroom, I want them all to have their own calendars to fill out and their own calendars to turn at the end. But it's important that they know what each other is doing at all times. So I broke it down day by day. This is a 6-day project. So on day 1, they're supposed to take the political aptitude test. Again, just going to tell them or tell who each or what each partner got. Second, they begin their research, and I kind of lay out a little bit of what they need to be researching. So background information, political parties. They should get a start on how their candidate views the issues. So with this, I'm leaving it up to them. These are high schoolers and in most part AP students. They need to be able to divvy up the work among themselves. That's kind of a part of the teamwork aspect of this grade. So day 3, doing their research, looking deeper into the issues, finding some quotes. Day 4, they're going to finish the research and they're going to give their personal viewpoints. And really, I want to make sure that they get their personal viewpoints in there because I know not everyone agrees with political candidates, but another part of this project was trying to get the person, how they are as a person versus how they are as a politician. Try to kind of differentiate between those two. Because especially in our most recent election, it's hard for people to know the difference between what the politician says and then what the politician actually will do. And I want to make sure that they can understand that with this project. So once they finish their personal viewpoints and begin their website design, here's where they're going to watch video, Weebly, creation of Weebly videos, and they'll start to create their actual Weebly. Basically what this means is creating an account, which takes no more than 5 minutes. Then, working out to pick a domain name. Domain name isn't such a big part of their grade, but it needs to make sure that it matches something about their candidate. Day 5, they're going to continue with website design. Here's where I'm really looking for them to kind of get the website basis down. So they need to pick out the 5 labels. That's going to go along with their research, but 5 labels, 5 different tabs, and they need to put their research in. If it's copying and pasting from another document, that's fine with me. But it's really just trying to get all the basic information onto the website. And I do think that will take pretty much a full class period. Number 6 is they're going to add pictures, format the website to make sure it's easy to navigate, do a once over, make sure everything's there, make sure all their links are working. And last thing they do is publish, then submit their project to me via Google Classroom. And this document is going to be a grade, so they would have to submit this as well. Next, we have the research notes page. This is how I'm going to grade their research. For this, I didn't create a specific rubric because research is not exactly the easiest thing to do based off a rubric. So I just wanted to lay out exactly what they kind of need to have. So background information is worth 10 points. Their political party is worth 5 points. Their viewpoints on the issues is pretty important, so I made 24 points. Any endorsements in AP government, we talk a lot about PACs and super PACs, so I want to make that worth 10 points. Potential quotes. Quotes are a big part about finding out the personality of a president or a political candidate, so I think that was a very important thing to have. Then the personal viewpoint, of course, is going to be worth 10 points. Then last thing, and this is a big part of it, is to be citations. Make sure that they're citing their sources, even if it's not annotating their sources with citations. Just make sure they put all their citations at the end. Makes things a lot easier. And I want them to use MLA format. And even at the top, I say all sources need to be cited using MLA format. If you not cite your sources, you receive an automatic 50%. So I try to make it so it's very, very important for them to do this. And again, share this document with your partner. This is kind of one of the more important things that they all need to have is make sure that all their they're on the same page with their information. All right, next is be the websites. So first we have the political aptitude quiz. Basically this quiz is actually down right now, but it will be back up. It's just it's overloaded with the amount of people on it right now. But basically you take anywhere from 20 to 40 questions, answer the questions to the best of your ability, and they'll match with the candidate. I've done this before for different projects, and it's a very, very cool website, so going back to the well with that one. Next is going to be helpful research websites. These websites are really a way for the students to be able to go a little bit deeper than just Googling their candidates. These research websites are both going to be very, very in-depth and very, very trustworthy. And that was kind of one of the big things. I didn't want them using Wikipedia. I want them using real websites. And the students will be allowed to use other websites. They just have to make sure they cite them. But one of the big things is I don't want them to use Wikipedia as a cited source. If they want to use Wikipedia, they need to go deeper and find out where Wikipedia is getting their information from. So they need to look at the Wikipedia citations. Next, I have the campaign website examples. This is a website. This is what I did for my discussion a couple weeks ago. Basically, it just shows a bunch of campaign websites, and that's going to go along with my recording number 5 and my helpful YouTube videos. Basically, if you combine those two, they look for what they should have, what they should not have on their campaign websites. And it's kind of a way for them to develop their own ideas, but to be able to base it off something, because I know, at least for me as a student, I need to be able to see an example of what I'm supposed to do, and this is a perfect way of doing that. Then last, I have YouTube videos. Recording number 5, like I said, connects with campaign websites. And then how to build a Weebly in 15 minutes. That Weebly isn't exactly a difficult website to try to create, but this how to build Weebly is there to help, especially if students get confused. They can go to this video, and even if you go to the video on the side with the suggested videos, there are a whole bunch of other videos that will help them kind of figure it out. And again, if they ever need to contact me, My email is in the About section. Yep, they could find me right here. Or if I need to contact them, once they're actually in here, so once students are connected to the code, I can email our guardians or invite students, or eventually it'll be email students. And that is my project. Like I said, I'm actually going to be implementing this in a couple months. Unfortunately, class will be over by the time I actually do implement it. But I've talked with my colleagues about it, and they really like the idea. So we're excited to be able to implement this.